Hi, I'm Chris Pizzo, and today we're going to be talking about the ancient art of ukemi, or falling and rolling. If anybody has done any sort of judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or even high school wrestling, this is not going to really be anything new. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of twist since we're all a little bit older now. All right, but ukemi, the art of falling, rolling, and whatnot, is a very often misunderstood, very important thing to continue, right, in all your physical training for multiple reasons. Number one, right, is obviously gravity hurts, right? As you get older, if you are not keeping up with your health, right, falling off of anything, falling off a ladder, slipping on ice, right, this is how you break things. Gravity is not kind, right? If you know how to fall, whether you're pushed or you slip or whatever, right, if you know how to fall safely, right, you're not going to break anything. That's number one. Number two, right, is the kinesthetic awareness that rolling and movement creates, right? When you do these rolls, you get a greater sense of spatial kinesthetic awareness, right, of the space that you're in, the space that you're taking up, as well as, of course, the movement of your body. Number three, right, let's be honest. We talked about gravity in the beginning, but falling, right, breeds toughness, right? Physical toughness, whether we're going to start on our knees and then we're going to go eventually to standing, right? But the simple act of rolling around on the floor, right, gets your body used to the jarring effects, right, that you can smooth out of hitting the ground through the forces of gravity. And then number four, which nobody really talks about except for the absolute highest caliber martial arts experts, is the crossover of the corpus callosum within your brain, the blood-brain barrier, right? You'll see, if you ever watch UFC, or ever watch judo in the Olympics, or even some wrestlers, they're always doing some sort of crossover activity, right? They're always either crossing their arms, I'm sure you've seen in football, right, when they do karaokes, okay? What that does is it creates, again, even building on that kinesthetic and spatial awareness that you're getting, when your body crosses over, right, the center line, it allows your left and right side hemispheres of your brain to continually talk to each other, right, and form distinct neural pathways at a strengthened level, all right? Now, that happens all the time, right? It's not like we're only operating from a left side brain or a right side brain, and this is not a brain discussion, right? But the simple act of physically moving across your body, right, of putting your left side on your right side and your right side on the left side, effectively starts the neurotransmitters and pathways from one side to the other, right? So, yes, it technically makes you smarter. Okay, so that being said, let's begin with some rolls. All right, let's roll. So, you've heard me probably say this once, and I'll probably say it a million more times, but there are only ever 8 directions of movement you can ever make, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Whether you call them north, south, east, west, northwest, southeast, whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. But these 8 directions, right, translate over into many, many things, right? Not only movement, but also breaking balance in judo and jiu-jitsu, angles of attack if you're doing any sort of knife or gun work, right? But again, everything can be broken down to these 8 points of the compass, and that's very simple, right? So it even makes our training simple because all we got to remember are those 8 directions. So we're going to start with a nice forward roll. As we'll start nice and slow, and as we progress, obviously we'll pick it up. It's very important, right, to understand that you must start one knee down, one leg up, because we're going to eventually be doing this from standing, right? And you're never going to really fall from here because even if you're pushed, you're always going to be able to take one step forward and then fall with the roll, right? That's later. For now, let's start nice and easy, right? Direction 1, straight forward, left leg up, right knee down, put your left hand down in front, put your right hand down and back, and start dropping your elbow and just roll over this line, right? Do not roll over your head, do not do a somersault. It's a nice shoulder roll, right? It's very, very simple, all right? 1, 2, roll, and come to the same exact position. Now that we've rolled forward, let's roll backwards. So we rolled forward to the left, but we're going to roll backwards to the right. Backwards rolls are a little bit tricky if you've never done them before. if you want to come over here and take a look at this, the big secret of how to get going, right, from here, and this is very, very important because, especially when we go from standing, the same principle applies. You need to tuck, almost like a windshield wiper, this back leg, right, in. That's all. Just a slight movement. That's going to give your hips the breakdown and the open space to drop, roll, look to that side, and back. All right, now that was nice and slow. There's one important detail I want to show you. It's not enough, right, to just roll backwards like I just did. In between, you absolutely 100% want to kick your legs up in the air, right, with like almost like a hip kick, right, straight up. There's multiple reasons for that, right? Most of it have to do with combat, right? But also, in this aspect, it's going to help give you the little bit of momentum that you need to go up without putting any strain on your neck, right? So let's do it the right way. We did our left front roll. Now we're going to do our right back roll. It's very important when you turn the direction you're rolling in, right? If we're going to the right, I turn my head to the right, and I look where I'm going to roll backwards. All right, so I'm going to do the whole thing now. Same thing. I'm going to windshield wiper my feet. I'm going to fall down. I'm going to pop my hips up in the air, and I'm going to come back to the starting position. Very, very simple, right? So let's just go over those two real quick so you can do them, right? And then we'll switch sides. Forward roll, up, backward roll, up, okay? Now, very simple, same thing. We're just going to switch, right? You're going to go front hand, 1, right, back, 2. Very, very simple. All right, so that takes care of direction 1 and 5, right? Now we're just going to go through the clock, right, through the compass. The difference when you roll to these far corners, so if we're rolling to direction number 2, is that you're not going to use your front hand, but you're going to use your back hand. And you're simply going to tuck, this hand is even easier than what we just did, tuck in between your legs. 1, okay? And then if you want to roll back, straight from there, it's exactly what we did. We're going to roll back to direction number 6, right? 1, 2, boom, okay? Switch to this side. 1, 2. Guess what? We just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 directions already. We only have 2 more left to the side. All right. So now, to your right and to your left is a little different, right? I don't want you rolling over your neck, right? Now, when you get into, if you practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo or something like that, that's a good exercise for you. But for now, I'm more worried about you protecting yourself, toughening yourself, right, when you fall. So we're going to use that same windshield wiper motion. If we're going to the right, we're going to have our left knee up. We're going to windshield wiper. All we're going to do is put our backhand, this time instead of through, we're going to put it across and just roll on our back to that direction. And guess what? Now my opposite knee is up. Same thing. Back the other way. Boom. Very, very, very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.